and boo and raise a hullabaloo at the ball game today.
Hey everybody, it's me, Rick Acosta, the Dodger Card Collector, coming to you with another video. Today is Friday, March 23rd. Happy Memorial Day weekend. Memorial Day is on Monday the 26th. I am lucky to have the day off today, so that is pretty good. Probably will have to check some emails for work though. We're pretty busy at the office. One of the reasons I haven't been on YouTube that much the past few weeks, my client is a Hollywood film studio, and they have a major movie coming out in 1 week. John Wick Presents Ballerina. So that's been keeping me busy the past few weeks, and the movie's coming out in 2 weeks. Take that back, not 1 week. But it's been keeping me busy, keeping me away from YouTube, and just doing other things. I just finished watching I just saw the NBA. Oklahoma City beat Minnesota Timberwolves to go up 2-0. And in the NHL, the Florida Panthers are on fire, and they're beating up on the Carolina Hurricanes 2-0. So it's a good time, though, right now with baseball. Dodgers are in first place. How, I don't know. And the NBA and the NHL are going on. One thing I also did today, just based on events that happened this week, I just also literally just 5 minutes ago finished watching the first episode of Cheers in honor of George Wendt. Rest in peace, Norm. I haven't watched Cheers in a while, and all of a sudden I got the urge to, I could watch 2 episodes a night. That'll take me months. So I decided, let's rewatch Cheers, because I have not watched Cheers in at least a good 10 years. Do you guys like Cheers? It's a great show. Great cast, by the way. So I was doing that. Hobby-wise, I won't say it's been quiet because I have been buying some cards, and I'm going to actually do a show today of pickups because I feel it hasn't. I haven't done one in a while, and I haven't been picking up as much, so I don't have as much to show you. But I've already got this video planned out, my next video planned out, so at least you're gonna have some content coming from me the next couple of weeks. Content will be coming slowly when it comes to June. My mother will be moving in with me in June, only every other weekend. So I'll just say she's staying with me three days every other week. So that should be fun. I think it's going to be neat. I'm thinking of putting her on a video for 5 minutes just to see what happens. But card collecting wise, I have been buying some cards all through the mail. So I'm going to show you some. We did have a show last week in Garden Grove, and to be perfectly honest with you, I was just so lazy and so tired, I didn't go. So I missed out. There is a couple of shows coming up. I'll mention the ones in June where there's a show in Pasadena coming up. There's actually 2 shows coming up. Front Row Card Show is in Pasadena, June 21st and June 22nd. And I believe there is also a show at the Embassy Suites the week before in Arcadia. And I think there's another show coming up in Whittier, Garden Grove. So SoCal, we got some stuff going on around here in case you want some free shows. Now, there is a show this weekend. I don't know if I'm going. I'm leaning towards no, but you never know, just because I'd like to go see some of my friends. There is a show in San Diego at the Front Row Card Show down in San Diego, California, America's finest city. Over at the Town and Country Resort, over at 500 Hotel Circle North, there is going to be 400 tables. Now, I do know, just from watching his video, my good friend George, Diamond Yard Sports Cards, is going to be there. He's already told me that Eric and Gloria, some other great pre-war sellers, are going to be there. My buddy Levon, LA Collection's going to be down there. I haven't spoken to my friend Mitch. I don't know if he's heading down there. I should actually check with him. And I also have learned, and this might be worth the price of admission, Kit Young is going to be there. I've never been to a show where Kit Young was I think he has 3 tables. Kit Young has, and I think he only does the National. And since I tend to stay on this side of the Mississippi, I have never been to a show with Kit Young. So he's going to be there. And according to George, I watched his latest video. Several Arizona vintage dealers are going to be coming out as well. So maybe I'll head out there. I don't know. We'll see. I think admission, if you buy your tickets in advance, is $10. And I would tell you to buy in advance just because I want to say the last Pasadena show, tickets sold out. So I don't know what, so I guess you couldn't get in. But so I would highly recommend, if you're thinking of heading down there, buy your tickets in advance. I don't know what day, if I do go, it'll probably be Sunday, but still don't know. I'm very much on the fence. What else have I been What else have I been doing? I have been curating my collection a lot. I bought a binder, and boy, those things are getting expensive. And I'm one of those, I want the fancy binders, the Ultra Pro baseball. I should have brought one out, the black ones. For some reason, nobody has black Ultra Pro baseball binders. They have blue, they have hockey, they have football, they have basketball. They don't have black. I finally found one on eBay for $19. So it was a frustrating day at the card store a few weeks ago. They had no binders, they had no sheets. I was like, what are we doing here, you guys? But was able to get my stuff. I have been loading 1961 cards into a binder and getting close on that set. That set's moving kind of quick. But also I bought a video I'll probably have in a few weeks is I'm going to show you, not my card room, but I'm going to show you just how I organize my collection. I've been seeing some of those videos lately, and I like them. And I have just been laying low buying cards, which is what I enjoy the most because I love my collection. And I say that every few months in my videos. I don't pay attention much to trends, especially YouTube trends. That's just not for me. I don't collect that way. I'm a set builder. I'm a Dodger team collector. I collect Hall of Fame graded cards. Sure, every so often somebody will show off a pretty card and makes me want to get it, but the trends that I'm seeing a lot on YouTube really don't appeal to me. Still makes for interesting videos to watch, but I just march to the beat of my own drum, and I think my YouTube channel kind of expresses that. So I think I've spoken enough. I came on ad-libbing. I have no agenda. So what I'm going to do, I have been buying cards for a while now that I have not shown off. Maybe one of them I've shown off, but I'm not sure. So I'm going to show it again just to be safe in case I haven't. And just show you what I'm buying lately and what's going on with my card collection. Don't fear. I've already got the next video or 2 planned out. So I'm not going anywhere. But let's turn the camera around. Let's take a look at some baseball cards. So my recent pickups are going to start. The early theme here is you're going to see a lot of new cards with old designs. I introduced some of these cards a couple of programs ago. These are from 2020 Topps Archives. These are box toppers. So I don't buy modern wax, but I believe if you buy a box of wax, there is a box topper, which is one card that's in a wrapper at the very top. And for 2020, they featured the design from the 1964 Topps Giants set. You know me, I'm a big fan of that set. And they did one in 2011 for Topps Lineage. And one of my viewers also brought up, they made one in 2013, but that set is really expensive to build. It's like, I think there's like 15 cards or something of each player out there. Something along those lines. There's autographed versions. It's crazy. And my same viewer, and I'm sorry I'm forgetting your name, brought up that Upper Deck also produced something kind of tribute to him. Not as nice, I'll be honest, but I see what they were trying to do. But I am a big fan whenever they try to do something from the 1964 Topps Giants set. So there are 30 cards in this set. I have completed the set. I'm still waiting for 4 more to arrive. But I wanted to show you just, here's Mike Trout, and then they'll do classic players as well. So you have Jackie in the middle, and you have Cal Ripken Jr. on the back. And when you flip it over, it looks just like a 1964 Topps Giant card. And they talk about Cal Ripken's record, his consecutive games played streak. So these cards are from 2020. Now my Yankees friends are going to be all over this set. Look at this. Look at these 3. So we've got from left to right, Thurman Munson, Aaron Judge, who I believe as I speak is, I think he's batting over 400. What an amazing player. And Hall of Famer Reggie Jackson on the right. Just looking at the Thurman Munson card, I think that is the first time, with the exception of probably his rookie card, maybe the 71 card too, he's clean shaven. And he looks really innocent there, really young. I think it's a great photo. And I liked the Topps put this card on. It's great to have Reggie Jackson there in a Yankee uniform, but 3 legendary Yankees. One of them's in the Hall. Aaron Judge will definitely get in when his time is due. Thurman Munson, we'll just have to wait and see. But here are 3 more cards from that 2020 Topps Archives box loaders, or I think it's called box loaders set. So 2025 Topps Heritage came out in the last few weeks with the 1976 Topps design. I've been able to pick up the entire Dodger team set. One thing that Topps Heritage does that I enjoy, they also make alternate versions of cards. I usually don't go crazy with the alternate versions, the variations, just because sometimes it's just like a color change, or they includes a player's name, nickname. But in some cases, I usually buy the ones where it's actually an alternate photo. So I think this year it's Mookie Betts, Freddie Freeman, and Yoshi Yamamoto. They have variations. I'm still looking for those 3. But while we're here looking, I've got Blake Snell, Shohei Ohtani, and Mookie Betts. I like how they have the All-Star card here. He's an all-star. Great. I liked the 76 design. And frankly, I was surprised. Every year that Topps Heritage comes out, I get surprised because I keep thinking this is the last set. But surprisingly, they went ahead and made cards with the 1976 design. If you look at the back, someone like Mookie, his card looks like a card from 1976, but if you get like a newer player with not as much, let's see, you won't see it here, but if you get a guy with like 2 or 3 years on here, the font kind of changes. I think the font might be a little different up there, but love the Topps Heritage sets. I have every Dodger card from day one, and I am looking for one variation, which is the 1971 Topps set design. It's a Clayton Kershaw. Clayton Kershaw's pitching, and he's wearing a Brooklyn Dodgers cap. And every time I see that card, it's like one of those super single prints. Everyone's selling it for like $500, so I don't know if I'll be getting that. But these 3 are from the 2025 Topps Heritage set. Now, about a month before the 2025 Topps Heritage set came out, surprisingly, and I really didn't think this was going to happen, Topps finally released the 2024 Topps Heritage High Number set. Usually they do it around December, late December sometimes. This year they waited till March, and I frankly thought they're not going to do the high numbers, and I thought that might have been the end of Topps Heritage. But all of a sudden, these cards came out in March, so I thought to myself, let's go ahead and finish it and keep working on Topps Heritage as long as I can. I have decided not to continue buying the regular Topps base cards from 2025. Maybe I'll change my mind down the road, but to me, it's just, for me, sometimes it's pointless to buy modern cards and just start and accumulate room. But who knows? We'll see. But for now, I will keep buying the Topps Heritage cards. These are high numbers, which are numbers 501 to 700. And I want to say 701 to 725 are single prints. So I got Tyler Glasnow, Teoscar Hernandez, and Yoshinobu Yamamoto. And these guys all contributed last year to a World Championship season. Love watching them play. Glasnow gets hurt a lot, which is kind of unfortunate. But love seeing these cards. And this is from the 1975 Topps set design, which is a good-looking set. And like I said, I really enjoy these Topps Heritage cards just because nice cards to look at. New cards, new players, old design. So, all right, let's move forward. Or let's move backward, actually. So you all know I've been building a 1961 Topps set, which has gone surprisingly well so far. Let's see how it goes the more I continue. I think when I bought my starter lot, which was 360 cards, along with the cards that I currently owned, I had roughly 460 cards. Since then, I've picked up, close to 100. And they have, the surprising thing is, honestly, guys, and this is kind of neat, especially when you're dealing with a set like 1961. These cards are pretty cheap. I'm really surprised. I mean, when I get to, let's see what happens when I get the Mays and Banks, but let's say, here's an example of non-Hall of Famers. Well, Joe Gordon is a Hall of Famer. I picked Joe Gordon because I am a big fan of his. I didn't realize he had a manager card. So, and in showing, here's Norm Cash on the left, Don Zimmer on the right. And I've heard a lot of people put down the 61 set. It's plain, it's simple, it's dull. Bunch of guys with no hats on. I got to admit, I'm going to talk about it a lot more in the coming episodes. 1961's a really nice design. They're probably missing a logo, let's be honest. Okay, they might be missing a logo, but I like the colors. I like the photos. Just look at Norm Cash, look at Don Zimmer. I like the subsets. You guys have always heard me talk about the 1961 Topps All-Star set, which is the best subset I've seen out there. But 61 also has the manager cards, all really nice. And if they're not Hall of Fame managers, they're guys that had really good playing careers. There's also the top, like, great moments set, the feature like Walter Johnson and Babe Ruth and Rogers Hornsby. The MVP set, which shows the previous 10-year MVP cards. Nice subsets, league leaders, postseason. This is a good-looking set. I'm going to be really excited when it's done. And like I said, there are some really good photographs. Yeah, there are some not so great photos, but that happens in every set. So like I said, here we are featuring Norm Cash, Joe Gordon, and Don Zimmer. I wanted to show you some Hall of Famers also, just because I want to tell you how cheap these cards are to find. I'm going to be transparent here on the prices. I have 3 Hall of Famers here, all pitchers. Jim Bunning on the left of the Detroit Tigers, Robin Roberts in the middle, Philadelphia Phillies, and Early Wynn on the right of the Chicago White Sox. Like I said, these are Hall of Famers. Yes, this isn't Willie Mays. This isn't Roberto Clemente. But these guys are in the Hall. Jim Bunning, $4. Robin Roberts, $9. Early Wynn, $6. Like I said, this has been an easy... The high numbers were not easy. So that's why I did them first. But so far, I'm rolling through these. I am waiting for an Orlando Cepeda card. I think I paid $11 for that. to show up. So you could find good prices on these cards. And I've already seen some, some of the bigger websites, Clean Sweep Auctions and Batter's Box, Kit Young. You could get Ernie Banks cards, Roger Maris cards, Eddie Matthews cards, Al Kaline. I could find those between $30 and $50. Not too expensive. So I like how this set is turning out. As of this recording, and I still have more cards coming in the mail, I need 71 more cards. So I have, at the moment, 516 cards of the set, 71 more. And like I say, I think I'm waiting for maybe 20 more cards to arrive in the coming days. And at that point, I will probably need around 50 cards. This is where I really sit down and look. What do I need? How am I gonna tackle the last set of guys, or who's still easy? Because I already noticed of some of the 50 cards I need, some of them are common cards. So just still chugging away, which is my favorite part of building a set. All right, we're going to continue going backwards a little bit. Actually, I'm going to move forward for a moment just because Mr. Pete Rose was reinstated by Commissioner Rob Manfred. Let's see if he gets in the Hall of Fame in 1927. In 2027, we'll see. It really depends on the committee. Just because he's been reinstated doesn't mean that or I should say, just because Rose, Joe Jackson, Eddie Seacott, all the Black Sox players, just because they've been reinstated doesn't mean these guys are going to get automatic Hall of Fame votes. I think it depends on the committees they're going to be on, from what I'm listening to. What I've been listening to, like on my Baseball Tonight podcast and Foul Territory. But we'll see what happens in a couple of years. But here's his 1963 rookie card. I've only got 2 Pete Rose cards graded, and I showed you the last one in my last video. I think it was the 72 Topps Pete Rose in action, and this one. Those are the only ones I have graded. Everything else is ungraded. It's a good-looking card, though, with Pedro Gonzalez, Al Weiss, excuse me, and Ken McMullen. At the time, I think I paid $400 for this card, and I thought I was crazy, and I think the card's worth at least 3 times that now. This card ain't going anywhere because I can't afford to give Ken McMillan up, and then I wouldn't have all the Dodger cards. But here is Pete Rose, rookie card. I don't know if I've already shown this card, but I'm going to show it again if I haven't, just because I know it's a recent pickup. I don't know if I showed it off, and it's the 1948 Bowman Allie Reynolds in a PSA 4. I've been working not on a real project, like a frontline project, but a backline project. I'm just trying to get one graded card from every Bowman and Topps set, and it can't be a Dodger because I've already got all the Dodgers. So I got this 48 Bowman Allie Reynolds to represent 1948. I am still looking for a 1952 card, which I hope it'll be a Monty Irvin card. And I am looking for a 1955 Bowman card, which I hope will be Whitey Ford. But I started off with Allie Reynolds because I'm a big fan of this guy. You hear me talk about him a lot with Ed Lopat and Vic Rashi, the big 3 of the Yankees. And I have a lot of respect for the Yankees from that era. Definitely. But this is a nice card. And I always know when I'm happy to get a card because I always say that was a good pickup. And that's definitely what I said with this Allie Reynolds card. Okay, the next 2 cards, the last 2 cards, are from the same series. And they're from 1934 to 1936 Diamond Stars. First one is Hall of Famer Sam Rice in a SGC1. And I'm struggling to find out why it's a 1. It's probably because of the paper loss in the back. But for me, this is just a good-looking card. Sam Rice was a great ball player. I first learned about Sam Rice in a book that was given to me at 11 years old called From Cobb to Catfish. It was a hardcover book of some of the more famous Baseball Digest stories. And it talked about Sam Rice, and he made this catch, I think, in the World Series where he made the catch. He ended up flying over the wall and like rolled under the grandstand. And I guess it was a controversial play in its day. People said he dropped the ball, and to his dying days, he said he had a death grip on the ball. And that was my memory of that. I actually remember typing that story. I had to do a typing project like when I was 12, and I picked that story, and all I had to do was copy it. So I just typed it verbatim. That's how I learned about Sam Rice. And I think, I'm going to get the number wrong here, I think he's either 7 or 11 hits short of 3,000. He said he didn't realize that when he retired. Had he known, he probably would have stuck it out. I do believe, I don't know if it was the Indians, I don't know if it was the Senators. They offered to sign him so he could get his hits, and he just wasn't into it. I think a couple of years had passed, but I think he's like 11 hits short of 3,000. But this is an amazing card. This is a great set. You hear me talk about Diamond Stars all the time. My friend Mitchell, White Sox card collector, he's working on this set. I hope he finishes it because it's going to look really nice. But here's Sam Rice. And then from the same set, this one was a hard one to get. And I'm going to talk to you a little bit about money and price here. Just because sometimes you kind of have to be smart sometimes when you're buying cards. Or I might call it smart, you might call it cheap. I'll use it more like wise. And this is the 1936 Diamond Stars Luke Appling of the Chicago White Sox, Hall of Famer, and a PSA 2. It's a good looking card. It's a 2. At the same, I'll be honest, I paid a little over $80 for this card. At the same time on eBay, there was a PSA 4 that went for 3 times that. It was in the low 200s. And it was a very nice looking 4. But I was like, I don't want to spend $240. Maybe if I was building the set. Maybe if I was a White Sox collector. I just wanted the card just because he's one of the cards I want represented in my guys that didn't make it onto the play ball set, of which I need 2 more. But I like this card from Luke Appling. I just picked up my first Luke Appling card a couple of months ago when I was working on the 1950 Bowman set. And now I've got my second one, and most likely my last one. But that's Luke Appling. And that's going to round out what I'm showing you guys for tonight. So if you guys stuck around this long, thanks for tolerating me. Thanks so much just for watching and for hanging out. And we'll talk to you guys very soon. Take care.
It's a beautiful day for a ball game.